Hey, thanks for joining me. I'm going to tell you how I installed the TurboWing RY 2.4 range extender on my Flysky NB4 Plus transmitter. Previous to this project, I used the Flysky FRM 303, which is mounted on this drag racing assembly from Sky. Not expensive, well worth the money, and a good way to mount this to your transmitter after you're finished with the install. Here we go. I ordered this from eBay at the store shown in the bottom left-hand corner. I also highly recommend you get this electronics kit off of Amazon, because you're going to be separating electronics components, and you don't want to use a butter knife or anything dumb like that. So just spend the $10 and get this. Don't be overly concerned about disassembling your handset transmitter. It's really easy. There's a few screws and a couple of situations where you need to be careful and pay attention. But other than that, it really is pretty simple. So easy an old guy that likes RC cars like myself can do it. First, you need to remove the hand grip, the rubber part, or silicone, whatever it's made of. It will not tear, you just have to be careful. And if you bought the set of tools recommended, just use the blue one with the little lever on the end, and it'll help remove that grip. If you have large hands like me, it's a good time to switch from the small one to the large one that comes in the box with the transmitter. First, you want to remove the 3 Phillips screws that are at the bottom where the battery connects to the handset, as shown by the arrow. Next, you're going to use a 1.5mm hex driver to remove the 7 or 8 screws that hold the 2 halves of the handset together. It's going to stay in this position for the rest of the time, as there are no screws to remove from the far side of the transmitter handset. This is the pile of stuff you should have left over if you've been following instructions. And this is what your handset should look like right now before we go any further. If you're going to die with your boots on. Put your boots on, as it's going to get deep now because we have to separate electronic components. Carefully use the blue tool to lever up the ribbon cable out of the socket, and then we will separate the screen from the actual handset. It's not that hard, it just pops straight up, but you need that little lever because you can't get your fat fingers down in there. After you have separated the ribbon cable, slide the assembly for the screen straight up off of the handset, and this is what it should look like after you have completed that task. Next, you're going to want to take the blue lever yet again to separate the ribbon cable from the back side of the screen. Be very careful. It just pops straight up. It's a little difficult, but you can do it. I'm counting on you. The universe is counting on you to do it. You have done it. Next, you're going to remove the antenna from the end of the LCD screen enclosure there. And very carefully do that because the antenna is attached to it inside. And you don't want to go yanking stuff and possibly wrecking your radio. This situation is where you want to be the most cautious. This coupling can separate from the PC board, so you might want to use your fingernail to hold it down to the PC board as you lever off the plug from the original Flysky and Noble antenna. Once you do that, we're basically halfway done. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, this is the socket where you are going to plug in the antenna from the TurboWing RY 2.4 range extender. And how about that? We're done. That was it. Once you plug that antenna into that socket on the PC board, you just have to route the antenna wire down through the transmitter and out in a way that is convenient to you in how you are going to affix the extender to your transmitter. I, again, am using that drag racing fixture, so I routed it out and down through the trigger assembly and out in preparation for how I'm going to use it. The drag racing battery attachment fixture, thingy, whatever, comes with an angled XT30 connector that is designed to plug into the FRM303. You're going to want to desolder that and then modify the cable that came with the TurboWing RY 2.4 power cable. You are going to trim about 7 or 8 inches off of the RY 2.4 range extender power cable and then solder it in place of this XT30 connector, and that will also be your on and off switch by just simply unplugging it or plugging it in whenever you want to use this. After you have routed your antenna cable, don't forget to replace all the screws back into the handset so that it'll stay together, and put on the hand grip, and then we'll go further. I have successfully used this drag racing fixture with my Crossfire transmitter and my FRM 303 from Flysky, and now I'm going to modify the case, the aluminum case for this TurboWing 2.4 range extender by using a drill and a tab to put some threads in it. After you accurately lay out where you're going to place your holes in the back of the aluminum case, you're going to use a number 45 drill bit. Don't hold me to that. I'm doing that out of memory from years ago, but I believe it's a number 45 or 41 to drill for 3mm threads. Don't forget to drill all the way through this battery holder because the 3mm thread has to go all the way through. After you have successfully laid out and then drilled and tapped, you can attach it to the battery holder and then reattach the front of the range extender, and you're almost done. Almost done. The drag racing setup comes with two 18650 batteries that are 2600 milliamp hours and are 3.7 volts each, which makes this basically a 2S setup. You could easily go to a vape shop and buy larger capacity batteries and give you a few extra minutes, but do you really need that? After everything is reassembled and set up, it's a damn good looking setup, and it's very effective, and everything works. With this setup, you have full control over your gyros, you have your sensors working back and forth, everything's the two ways. You don't lose anything like you do with some of the other setups. Anyway, thanks for stopping by and watching this. I hope you learned something. If I missed something, let me know in the comments. Bye.